When someone is always worried about their loved ones leaving them, we might call this an abandonment issue. It can happen because of mental health struggles like anxiety or past experiences that cause trauma. Today, we will discuss abandonment issues, signs, symptoms, causes, and how to treat them properly. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Human Mind Project. Abandonment concerns aren't a specific diagnosis, but a type of anxiety that impacts relationships over time. This can cover a lot of ground. It may result from an anxious attachment style or traumatic experiences in a person's early years. Furthermore, it's also characteristic of some mental health conditions like borderline personality disorder, or BPD for short. How to detect signs and indications of abandonment issues. When it comes to the fear of abandonment, it's worth noticing that it's not a separate mental health disorder. Rather, it falls under the scope of anxiety and can show itself in various ways. One particular manifestation is through an anxious attachment style, a pattern of forming relationships that develop as people grow up. Those with an anxious attachment style might find themselves feeling insecure within relationships and crave constant reassurance from their partner. Additionally, they might worry about their friends' or partner's departure, seek evidence that others don't like them, and put others' needs before their own. Sometimes people with this attachment style also find themselves in unhealthy relationships out of fear of being alone. Personality disorders like BPD and dependent personality disorder may include intense fear of abandonment as one symptom among their specific set of symptoms. It's normal for kids to fret about their caregivers leaving them. This is called separation anxiety and can happen to babies and young children. Usually it begins around 6 to 12 months old and reaches the peak at about 3 years old. Signs include reluctance to leave a caregiver, throwing a tantrum when left behind, and worrying about going to school or daycare. This could last for a while, especially in new or strange places, like the first day at school. But just because a child experiences separation anxiety does not mean they'll have abandonment issues as an adult. That being said, kids who develop an anxious attachment style might grow up to feel insecure in other relationships sometimes. Kids experience an intense form of separation anxiety that doctors label. So how do abandonment issues affect someone? The impact of fear of being left behind on an individual might vary depending on the reason, but generally, it makes it difficult for someone to establish healthy and stable connections with other people. Consequently, a person may face the following issues. Feeling anxious all the time can be a common experience for both kids and grown-ups who have a fear of being left alone. This can be particularly tough when they think that they're going to lose a close bond with someone. Relationships can come with their own set of obstacles. When someone experiences anxiety about being abandoned, their view of the relationship can be distorted, leading them to imagine problems that aren't actually there. They might become extra sensitive to any perceived hint of rejection or have a hard time placing trust in their partner's commitment. This can lead to a clingy behavior that could impact the relationship. Sometimes individuals with abandonment issues may adopt unhealthy communication habits to alleviate their fears. This could involve seeking attention to secure the affection they worry might slip away. Sometimes individuals with abandonment anxieties might act in a damaging manner by using manipulation or even abuse to stop their loved ones from leaving them. For instance, they might prohibit their partner from going out with their friends. Such behavior is a kind of forceful domination. So why do people struggle with abandonment? There's no simple answer as to why one may experience a fear of abandonment. It's a complicated matter. Maybe a significant event in their life provoked it, or perhaps it's a mix of different reasons. Whatever the case, some of the possible causes may include: adults may sometimes feel insecure and afraid of being left alone due to past experiences of abandonment in their childhood. Such situations could have occurred with a parent, foster parent, or any other adult who was responsible for their care. If caregivers neglect or abuse a child or behave in a way that scares them, it can end up traumatizing them and lead to anxiety issues. This could cause difficulty in forming positive connections with others and hence hamper future relationships. Another risk factor of BPD is being subject to early abuse or trauma. When parents or caregivers are not around consistently or not very affectionate with their child, it might create anxiety in the little one. There might be a few reasons behind it. Sometimes it's accidental, while other times it is done on purpose. What are the treatment for concerns related to abandonment? Getting help for your mental health does not require a diagnosis. If the fear of abandonment is causing significant problem in someone's life or relationship, seeking professional support could be very beneficial. One possible solution is talking therapy. A therapist can help individuals explore their feelings of abandonment and find the root cause of their anxiety. Through therapy, a person can build self-worth and learn effective communication and healthy boundary setting. Children experiencing intense fear of abandonment can work with a child psychologist to address their issues in a relaxed and supportive environment. Play therapy, art therapy, or family therapy are some possible methods that they can use. So how do you assist someone who is abandoned? Supporting a person who is struggling with fear of abandonment can be quite tricky. They may become defensive or anxious when you try to initiate a discussion about their fears, thinking that it's a personal attack or that you're planning to leave. Thus, it's crucial to handle these conversations with care and sensitivity. When addressing someone's fear of abandonment, you need to assure them frequently that you're there for them. Give them your full attention and acknowledge how their fears are impacting their happiness. Show plenty of love and concern. Propose possible solutions if they're amenable to discussing them. Stay composed and compose during the conversation. It's best to avoid using the term abandonment issues as it can sound negative and reinforce the notion that they're flawed. It's best to steer clear of certain actions that may trigger anxiety, such as blaming or criticizing the person for their fear, demanding they change without providing support, or issuing ultimatums like threatening to leave if they don't seek help. If you have a child who is afraid of being left alone, there are some things that you can do to help. First, give them plenty of attention and reassurance regularly. Try to be kind and understanding towards them. Keeping a consistent daily schedule can also help to make life more predictable and reduce anxiety. It's important to check in with them frequently and provide a space for them to express their feelings. Remember that difficult behavior can often be a sign of emotional distress, so it may be helpful to get advice from a child psychologist if your child is struggling with severe anxiety or confidence issues. If you're feeling like your abandonment issues are impacting your happiness or your connections with loved ones, there is no shame in seeking some guidance from a therapist. Whether it's one-on-one sessions, couples therapy, or family counseling, therapists are there to help you navigate those tricky emotions. And if you've experienced trauma or loss in the past, talking to a mental health professional can help you process those feelings and move forward healthy. Lastly, if you notice that your child is struggling with separation anxiety, you might want to consider bringing it up with a pediatrician or child psychologist to figure out the best way to ease their worries. And that's all for today. If you found this video valuable, don't hesitate to subscribe and receive more inspiring content. Until next time, take care.